Yo, what's going on, guys? Brisky Ranger here, and today I'm gonna show you my loadouts for TF2. Now, I actually do have quite a little bit of loadouts. Some of which are good, some of which are kind of dickish, but hey, it's loadouts. So, okay. Anyways, enough of my rambling. Let's just get to it. So, starting with the scout. So, what I have set up right here is the hit and run scout. So basically, I have the Sandman for stunning enemies with the ball, and then hitting them with the flying guillotine for that sweet crit. And then I just went with the stock scattergun because it's a reliable primary to use. So yeah, that's that. And okay, this is my Nvm Pyro loadout. So basically, I'm rocking the Force of Nature, the Mad Milk, and the Candy Cane. Now, the reason why I'm rocking the Candy Cane and the Mad Milk, because when you, well, yeah, like I said, this is an anti-pyro loadout. So when you kill someone, it drops a health pack, and Mad Milk, and when you use it on enemies, it'll cut the milk, and when you shoot them, you regain health. But it also helps extinguish flames, so that's very useful for going up against pyros. And Force Nature, because well, you could just knock people back, and yeah. Okay. Up next we have the Little Shit Scout. Now I'm rocking the Shortstop, the Critical, and the Holy Mackerel. Now with the Critical, it's one of the most underappreciated weapons or drinks in the game right now. But basically, when you combine the critical with the shortstop, it does quite a bit of damage. I'm not gonna lie, I've actually went on some mad kill streaks with this. With this combo, and I'll also rock a Horlocker because, well, hey, what's wrong with hitting people with a fish? Okay, and then for this last little bit here, this is my Nvm loadout. Now, you're for sure gonna be rocking the Mad Milk and the Phantom War because the Phantom War is very good on the Mad Milk and the Phantom War is very good on giants, and for your primary, it's kind of personal preference as long as it's not the shortstop or the babyface blaster or the backscatter. Now you can use the scattergun, but I kind of don't recommend it. So it's kind of in between the Soda Popper or the Force of Nature. If you want extra mobility, I definitely recommend the Soda Popper. But if you're just focused on keeping like bots with bombs away from the point, then the Force of Nature is definitely the primary for you. So okay, so that's all my loads for the Scout. Now for the Soldier. The Soldier here, yeah, this is. Now I couldn't really think up of anything good for this little first part here, but I know that the direct hit, the shotgun, and the escape plan are actually a pretty good setup because when you run out of ammo in the direct hit, you can immediately switch over to your shotgun and finish people off. And once you get into a hairy situation, you can pull out the escape plan and, well, just make your escape. So yeah. Okay, then we have the aerial bombardment soldier. Basically the airstrike, the base jumper, and the market gardener. Now while you're in the air with the airstrike, this the firing speed of this rocket launcher is increased dramatically, and once you get a few kills, every time you get a kill, the clip increases. So when you have 8 in the mag, or when you have 8 in the launcher, and one of those rockets turns out to be a random crit, this can actually be a pretty deadly arsenal. And if you have a medic that manages to reach you with the charged crit streak, then yeah, you're gonna be one deadly son of a bitch. And for melee, a market gardener because, well, hey, you're using base jumper. Why not use it? Okay, next up we have the no medic soldier. So basically, black box, a contra, and escape plan. Now, black box in the contra mainly for the contra mainly for the region. The black box, when you hit enemies, you gain health, and the escape plan for when you get into a hero situation. Now, a lot of people don't like playing against these guys because they're they're just so hard to kill, and when they're at low health, they immediately freaking just run away like a total pussy. But I found this to be actually pretty effective because, well, mainly for trolling purposes and stuff. But this apart from that, this loadout is actually pretty effective. Next up is my Nvm loadout for the soldier. Now, the Baker's Bazooka and the buff banner are a must because, well, actually, the primary is kind of personal preference, as long as it's not the Cow Mangler, the Black Box, Airstrike, Liver Launcher, Direct Hit, or Rocket Jumper. But you can use the stock Rocket Launcher or the Baker's Bazooka for some extreme DPS. Now, for your secondary for NVM, you're definitely gonna want to be rocking some type of banner because the shotguns are not gonna be really that useful, or the base jumper for that matter. So now, if you don't really have anything else that's good, or if you don't have a buff banner, then you could rock a battalion's backup or a conjurer, but it's better with the buff banner, trust me. And for your melee, you're always gonna be rocking disciplinary action because when you respawn with someone else it's always good to get them to the front lines as fast as possible. So yeah. So those are my loads for the soldier. Now for the pyro. This is the Pyro loadout. Going stock flamethrower, scorch shot, and the Homewrecker. Now the Homewrecker is very good for getting rid of sappers. So if the engineer isn't present at the nest, then using the Homewrecker can definitely help with keeping that sucker alive. And of course, while you're at it, you can use flamethrower and scorch shot to just make it a pain for spies to sap sentries and other shit. So yeah. Okay, here I have my stealth pyro loadout. So basically, the back burner, the detonator, and the power jack. Now, mobility is actually key with this loadout. So yeah, basically, the purpose of this loadout is to sneak behind enemy lines and just cause complete havoc when they don't suspect a thing. So yeah, make jumps with detonator, move around with power jack, and once the enemy has their guard down, just go in, or when they're distracted, just go in the back burner, just fuck them up. So yeah, it's that. Now this is the puff and sting pyro. So basically the degreaser, the flare gun, and the pulsar pummeler. Now I'm not really a PvP dude myself, but I've actually been using this loadout pretty effectively. Now, if I'm not really using the puff and sting, I will just let someone fire and then just take him out with melee. So yeah. Next is the Nvm Pyro. So basically a phlogiston, and well, mainly phlogiston, and you can use whatever here. Now, Pyro in Nvm is mainly used against tanks. Now, it's honestly, you don't have to go for tanks all the time. You can also go for a stock flamethrower or a degreaser for air blasting the bomb into a pit, or just sending the bomb back, which can be pretty useful. But I mainly go the tank buster way. That's just my personal preference. Yes. Okay. Now that that's out of the way. Now for the Demo Man. Now, the Demo Man, this is usually my casual loadout. You know, the stock grenade launcher, stock sticky bomb, and usually whatever melee. Now of course the stock weapons are obviously the best in the game, so there's obviously no explanation here. This is my anti-sentry nest loadout, or my anti-sentry nest / invisible Demo Man loadout. So basically the lock and load, the charge and targe, and the Islander. I have a Nexus 9R because it's a reskin of the Islander. So yeah, but the lock and load, it got a nerf / buff that gave it basically it took out the clip size, or well fuck, I cannot talk right now. So basically, the lock and load does extra damage to buildings, and it's got an extra projectile speed, but it's got a minus clip size, and and it actually does less damage. But since it's got 3 in the clip, it actually does more. So Valve actually wound up buffing it. So yeah, and you have the charge stars for extra survivability, and 9 iron for, well, when you get heads, you can get yourself buffed up that way. Now, this is my medieval mode demo night loadout. So basically, the bootlegger, the tie turner, and the half Satoshi. Now, the melee is honestly kind of optional. You can rock the Islander, you can rock the Claymore, you can rock the Caber. You can honestly rock whatever. It's just personal preference. But I use the Satoshi because kills equal health, and health is good. So yeah. Now for the Nvm loadout. For your Nvm loadout, you're basically gonna be you're mainly gonna be rocking the Scottish resistance, because, well, 14 plus 14 stickies, all crits, and you can detonate them. You can detonate a certain amount. It can actually be pretty good. And for your melee or primary, also, it doesn't matter. But if you're gonna be screwing around with your primary, at least use the loose cannon, because loose cannon is actually pretty useful in Nvm. It can be useful for actually knocking bots back. And one time I've actually used loose cannon to actually knock a bomb into a pit, and yeah, that was a fun time. So yeah, this is the okay, so that was the demo, man. Now for the heavy, this is my troll heavy loadout. So basically, Huong here, a sandwich, and a holiday punch. So basically a hoobie in a way. Yeah, it's a hoobie. So it's basically no explosion here. Now this is my PvP heavy loadout. So basically, the stock minigun is sandwich and a killing gloves of boxing. Now the stock minigun is a very good minigun. Now to be honest, the primary is personal preference. You can use the Huong here if you want, but I honestly don't recommend it. Tomislav if you want to be sneaky, because this doesn't make it. Yeah, because this is a silent killer. You can use the Natasha if you don't like scouts. You can use the Brass Beast if you just want to be a sentry. But I mainly want to rock the Star Minigun because it's always a reliable weapon to use. Now, I'm rocking the Sandwich because it's a portable health pack in your pocket, and it can be very helpful it can be very helpful in any situation. Sorry, I cannot talk right now. Now, you could rock the shotgun or the panic attack, but I don't really do that much of that. Plus, the low cost bar and family business are kind of bad. Bone stick sandwich I'll get into later. Okay. Next is my medieval mode heavy. Now it doesn't matter what primary you use, you're not gonna be using it, because in medieval mode only melee is allowed, unless if it's something like the Huntsman or Crusader's crossbow. Now for this, I mainly use the Warrior Spear because it does bonus damage. You take more damage, but that's compensated for by the 50 plus health restored on kill. And plus, in medieval mode, every time you kill someone, they drop a small health pack anyway. So all in all, it's a win-win. Plus, with the ballistic sandwich, when you eat this, you move around faster, and you do mini crits. And you can also rock the killing gloves of boxing to just be a complete monster, but I mainly rock the Warrior Spirit because it's actually pretty good. Now, Fist of Steel, do not use. You take more melee damage. It's not worth it. The Infection Notice, I don't recommend either because of the vulnerability and the penalty. And this, honestly, it ain't really that good unless if you're a rebel. Then by all means use it. But I personally don't recommend it. Okay, now for Nvm Heavies. Now, for you Nvm Heavies out there, you're going to want to, if you can, just use the Brass Beast, because, well, you're mainly not going to be moving around as much, so mobility kind of doesn't really matter. Plus, you're going to be next to an Engineer's Dispenser anyway, so, yeah. Plus, you get damage resistance, Or yeah, yeah, you get damage resistance when you're below half HP, and you do more damage. Now, if you don't have a breast piece, you can use a minigun or a Natasha, but I don't really recommend it. Healing Heater, Thomas Lab, do not use at all, or unless if you want to get camped, then yeah. Sandwich for your medics, or whoever's out there that needs healing, and the Fist of Steel for a quick like in case if your team's dead, the engineer's setup is taken out, and you just need to escape. And you could just pull the Fist of Steel, and you'll be taking less damage as the boss tries to gun down. So, yeah. Okay, that's the heavy. Now for the engineer, this is mainly my PvP loadout for the engineer. Just the stock shotgun, stock pistol, stock wrench. Yes, I do have a Australian wrench. Obviously, no explosion here. Stock loadout's good. Now this is my anti-fungineer loadout. No one likes playing up against these guys. Now I know that the short circuit did get a nerf, but the Gunslinger did get a buff. Now, with the Pomzen, this is good against spies and medics, because against the spy, when you hit them with this weapon, it drains their cloak meter, and with the medic, it drains their uber meter. But it's kind of hard to. But it'll be kind of hard to actually hit them, unless you guys have good prediction skills, because the bullets with this weapon are actually have a travel time, and the travel time's not really that good. But if you can master it, then this can be pretty deadly. Now the short circuit got a heavy nerf, because back then you used to be able to just spam it, and soldiers and demos wouldn't do shit. But now that it's been nerfed, you actually have to alt fire. You actually have to right click with it in order to. Yeah, you have to right click with it in order to actually evaporate anything. And the thing with this is that for every projectile you evaporate, it actually costs more metal to evaporate it. Now, this actually doesn't just evaporate Demoman's pipes and stickies and soldiers' rockets. This also evaporates. I don't know if this is possible, but it can also evaporate snipers' huntsman arrows and medics' crossbow arrows or crossbow bolts. So yeah, there's that. Then there's the Gunslinger. Basically, makes mini sentries. You're basically the Satan of the server. Now for the mini sentry, it never misses, and this is just the bane of scouts everywhere. And from what some people are saying is that pyros, this is good against pyros. That's not true. They can just as easily WM1 as you can just whatever. So yeah, this is basically my dick loadout. Okay, now this is my Now, I actually got pretty creative with this loadout. So basically, the Brisky Ranger, the stock pistol, and the Jag. Now, I could have went with the Wrangler, but people are most likely going to be focusing that sentry anyway, so it kind of really doesn't matter. Now, with the Rescue Ranger, you can repair your buildings at a distance. You can bring your buildings to you at a cost of 100 metal, and this can be pretty good. Now with the pistol, no explosion there. Now for the Jag, you have increased construction speed, but you take 3 hits on a sapper to take it out, which to be honest ain't really that good. But if there's other engines there, then you kind of really don't need to worry. But yeah, the Jag is mainly a weapon used for like rollouts and stuff. And this is a rollout engineer. Plus, now that Valve included the ability to actually switch ranges without your buildings getting destroyed, except if you're using Gunslinger, then yeah, this guy's going to be pretty good. Now for my Nvm Engineer, I use the Rescue Ranger, the Wrangler, and a stock wrench. I don't use any other wrenches like Jag or Sound Hospitality. Now, yeah, I use Brisky Ranger because it can be good against good against sentry busters while they're in the middle of trying to detonate on the sentry. It can be good for repairing buildings at distance. Now, the Wrangler is actually good for DPS. Now, believe it or not, with the Wrangler, you actually do more damage with the sentry gun than the sentry gun would do by itself. And since you have complete control of the sentry gun, you can just focus down giants, and it can be pretty good for team DPS on giants. And it's just all around good. Stock wrench, no explanation there. All around good wrench. Okay, now for the medic, this is my whatever's. Honestly, I have no idea what I was thinking when I was making this loadout, but yeah. It's just my random medic loadout if I'm like bored and stuff. Honestly, don't know what I was thinking when I was making this, so sorry for not having an explanation for this. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's take a quick loadout. Okay, this is actually my well, actually, this is my first combat medic loadout. Excuse me. Yeah, this is my first combat medic loadout. Basically, go around with the boot sauger, hit people, gain health. Doesn't matter what minigun you use, but there's no shame in supporting your team. Melee, honestly, don't care what you use. Personal preference, in my opinion. Now, this is my second combat medic. Basically, this is actually a mix of a combat medic and just your ordinary medic. So basically, the overdose and the vaccinator. So basically, basically, with the overdose, the boost doesn't count unless the Uber's there. And since the vaccinator has 4 different Ubers, this might be a pretty good combo. And with the Visor, if you do die, you get 20% of your Uber retained. So that's good there. Next is just your average medic loadout with Crusader's Crossbow for long range healing, Crits Krieg because 25% Uber charge rate, and Uber Saw for getting Uber off of spies that try to creep up on you. So yeah. Next up is my Nvm Medic. Now I actually had a much better time, or actually I should probably do that instead. Well, now I think about it, whatever. So basically, yeah, Nvm Medic, you're not going to be using a primary at all, so Blutsauger, Crits Krieg, and Ubersaw. Now, your primary is kind of personal preference if you actually do plan on using it. Now I think about it, it should be using the crossbow. Yeah, so basically, yeah, you can use this for both Nvm and PvP. It can be actually pretty good. It's pretty good in all scenarios. So yeah. Oh, actually, before I move on over, basically with the Crits Krieg, it's very good for getting DPS out, and Ubersaw, believe it or not, you can actually use your Ubersaw on an incoming sentry buster, and you actually gain a Uber from it. So yeah, Uber chaining was made very, very freaking easy with this tactic. So yeah. If you see a sentry buster, go to it with an Uber saw, get your Uber, and get back to your patient. So yeah. Next up is my sniper. Now I don't play sniper much because my aim's fucking awful, but when I do, I would mainly be rocking these loadouts. So basically, I'm rocking the Luxman. Yeah, the Luxman, and if someone's coming up on me, I would use an SMG, and then melee is kind of personal preference in my opinion. Now, I would use either the stock Kukri, or the Chopperman Shiv. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Then there is the King of Piss. So basically, the Cine Sleeper, the Girardi, and the Bushwhacker. Now, so yeah, basically Cine Sleeper for long range piss, Girardi for incoming players, and Bushwhacker to utilize the crate whenever you would normally mini crate. So yeah, it's very good. Now, this is my regular, ordinary sniper. So basically, sniper, basically, just, well, to be honest, sniper's kind of personal preference. I mainly use the stock sniper because it's, well, stock is God, pretty much. And now what some people would use is that they would rock the Darwin's Danger Shield for mainly for like bullet for damage resistance and max health, but to the community, using Danger Shield is kind of a dig move. So I mainly use the Cozy Camper because when you're scoped in, you take no knockback and you reach in health. So yeah, and man's personal preference, like I said, there's that. Now, Nvm Sniper, I don't play Nvm Sniper, but I've seen some videos, I've seen enough videos to know that this is what Nvm Snipers would be using. So basically, the Hitman's Heatmaker, he's basically either the Hitman's Heatmaker, the Sydney Sleeper, or the stock sniper rifle are all good sniper rifles. So. And with the focus, you can constantly do explosive headshots on giants and medic groups. So, yeah, making this a very good sniper rifle to be using. Now, 20% minus 1% damage on body shot kind of doesn't matter because you're supposed to be getting headshots. And is that then there's the Girardi, well, mainly for extra DPS, and Bushwhacker. Well, like, honestly, kind of doesn't matter what you use. Yeah, and also because it kind of doesn't matter what you use, but yeah. There's that. Now, for my spy, this is my all the time to kill loadout for the spy. So basically, the Diamondback, the Red Tape Recorder, the Cloak and Dagger, and the Spycicle. Now, so basically, now when you come at the Diamondback and the Red Tape Recorder, you can get some pretty interesting plays with it because with the Diamondback, you gain crits on either sapping buildings or backstabs. And yeah, this is actually pretty good. And yeah, now your watch, it's kind of personal preference, but I used the Cloak and Dagger because, well, yeah, just Cloak and Dagger. Next we have the Hiding in Plain Sight Spy. So basically, a L'étranger, your turn reward. I'm using a Wanga Prick, a Cloak and Dagger, and your Sapper. It kind of doesn't matter what you use, but yeah. So yeah, that's that. And then I have just my ordinary loadout that I would use. Basically, stock revolver, stock knife, a dead ringer, and whatever Sapper. Is that. Then there is the Mbm Spy. Now, I sometimes play Mbm as the Spy. Now, I mainly use the L'étranger with the Dead Ringer because the thing with bots and Cloak is that they'll still be looking at you and shooting at you for a few more seconds. And when you get out of Cloak, you're gonna need to get that Cloak back as soon as you can. So that's where the L'étranger comes in because on hit you get some more Cloak. You know, that's pretty good. Now, it does not matter what sapper you use. You can use whatever. And now, with the knife, you're good with whatever as long as it's not... Well, actually, you're pretty much better off with the stock knife anyway, because the kunai, god-awful. Wanga Prick, reward, god-awful. Spycicle, god-awful. Just don't use them, especially the big earner. Even though you get plus 30 cloak and kill, you have minus 25% max health. And you're better off using the stock knife because you're gonna need the health if you wanna get out of situations. So yeah. Okay, so that's all my loadouts for. Yeah, that's all my loadouts for TF2. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like and leave a comment on your thoughts about my loadouts. Be sure to hit the bell button so that way you're notified of my next upload or stream, and be sure to spread the word about the channel. The support is greatly appreciated, and once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace.